Hey, this episode of Industrial Talk is proudly brought to you by MD&M West and the incredible News and Brews team. MD&M West delivered big. MedTech, automation, packaging, plastics, and design all came together under one roof. The innovation, the energy, the conversation, it was everything that makes this industry extraordinary. I was on the floor capturing the stories, the breakthroughs, and the leaders who are shaping the future. Thanks for tuning in and celebrating the people driving industrial innovation. Industrial Talk, powered by MD&M West and the News and Brews team.
Welcome to the Industrial Talk podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, this is take two because I had technical problems here at Industrial Talk. And thank you very much for your continued support of this platform that celebrates industry professionals all around the world. You are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you innovate, you collaborate, you are solving today's problems each and every day. That's why we celebrate you on Industrial Talk. You are the heroes in this story. We are broadcasting on-site, MD&M West. We're part of the News and Brews crew, telling the story of all of the incredible innovations and technologies and solutions that exist today here in the world of manufacturing. It's exciting, and you're saying to yourself, but I'm not there, Scott. Well, at least you can hear the podcast. That's one. Two, you need to put this on your calendar for next year, 2027, because you get great people. Great people like Matthew Garcia. He is with Kawasaki Robotics, and he's the regional sales manager. That's who he is. And we're going to be talking a little bit about him. We're going to be talking about definitely Kawasaki, so let's get cracking. All right, Matthew.
Morning, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
Good morning, Matthew. Thank you for being on Industrial Talk. Really appreciate it. Are you having a good show?
We're having a great show, actually.
Why?
Why? Absolutely. Great question, right? So, coming to this show...
You just can't float off. We're having a great show.
Yeah, I know. We're having a great show. And so basically, as a robotics supplier, we're actually one of the few that are here on site. There's a lot of robots of different manufacturers represented. However, we're here as a robot supplier. But we're having a great show because we're meeting people that are in this like-minded industry, whether it's, we're running into some of the medical and medical device, but there's actually some others that are outside of that platform, and so it gives us a chance to collaborate with those. And like any trade show, there's a lot of tire kickers, a lot of just investigators, but we're actually getting high-quality leads that are not a waste of time. And I hate to say that because there's a lot of people that are just coming in and just getting knowledge, and that's okay. There's
taking the swag.
That's right. But we're meeting with actual professionals in the industry that are looking to be a serious partner and a serious automation partner.
This is interesting. Have you been coming to the show?
We usually walk the show. In fact, last year we didn't participate. We actually just walked the show. Kawasaki has actually participated here in previous forms of MD&M when it was the older platform.
Yeah.
We typically go to the bigger shows, and when I say bigger, the attendance is in the 100,000s, where this is a more smaller regional show, but more focused on one particular.
When you mention it that way, that's sort of wild because there's around 12 to 13,000 people here.
Yeah, that's correct.
And if you look at the map on their website, the MD&M website, you realize it seems like an aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah, no, it's large when you spend the time and walk up and down the show. It's small enough that you can see just about everybody, but it's also large enough that you really got to kind of plan your time.
Yes, you do. You do. Well, tell us real quick on who Matthew. Give us a little bio, and then I got some questions about Kawasaki Robotics.
Yeah, you bet. So I started in robotics 30 years ago, right out of college.
You've seen some changes.
I've seen a lot of changes, amazing changes actually. And, anywhere from, almost the origins of industrial robotics all the way up to now, which is becoming more the humanoid and AI and a lot of vision-guided robots. So that's really kind of the newest, latest, and greatest. But AI is becoming kind of the new fad with everything.
Oh, really?
I know. Thanks, Captain Obvious, right?
Wow. Yeah, but from my perspective, the conversation around AI always has to happen, because you got to figure out, hey, how is this tool, this technology, is going to help us be better, whatever, more efficient, greater quality, whatever the objectives, or all of the above. That's not a problem. Here's the question that I have for you. There are robotics companies out there, big, small, in between, whatever, and there is a specific design. Help me understand, in that bloody market, how Kawasaki is solving problems. Differentiate the solutions that Kawasaki provides in the world of robotics.
Yeah, that's a great question. And so if I start
don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, Kawasaki actually is the very first robotics supplier. From the late 60s, the Unimate was developed for the automotive, and it was actually a hydraulic-driven robot, which now everything is electro-servo-driven.
Yeah.
So we were the first to market with robotics. So we are the oldest. We are the most experienced from that perspective.
I didn't know that.
So Kawasaki actually used their own robots in their own manufacturing. We're a $15 billion company. Actually started out in the 1800s building ships. So over time, we've built automobiles. We've built, obviously, motorcycles. Everybody knows the Kawasaki name for motorcycles. Airplanes and aerospace, trains. So if you've ever been on a subway in New York City, chances are you've been on a Kawasaki train.
No way.
So we call it rail stock. And then there's a number of other things that we get involved in too as well. So we call that Kawasaki Heavy Industries. So that's our parent company, and then we are part of Kawasaki Robotics. So we supply several different numbers of robots, anywhere from 3 kilograms all the way up to 1,500 kilograms.
Yeah, you need to convert that for me.
So 1,500 kilograms is basically a small automobile. So we have a robot that can actually pick one up off the ground and move it around. Yep. So how we're helping people is we fit into a number of different industries. So anywhere from food and beverage up to dispensing, welding. We've done a lot with some of the major car brands. I don't know if I want to mention them on air, but
it's fine.
So we have robots in several of those. One of the newer electric automobiles is all Kawasaki Robotics. So it's pretty impressive to have that name and that support in the industry.
Because I have to be honest with you, and given that pedigree that you've just sort of laid out for Kawasaki, impressive. Don't get me wrong, impressive. I hear more from other companies.
As far as
just attention wise.
So Kawasaki, we are not the big dog in the room, if you will. So we have a competitor or another competitor that has the larger market share, but we like to focus on specific partners. We only sell to our partners. We don't sell direct. So we work through partners because we want our partners to be successful, and we support them with a smaller network so that they get personalized attention and they always have the right support that they need, so that they're not left hanging, they're not going to fail, they're set up for success when they have Kawasaki behind them.
How does Kawasaki, and just like anything else here in the world of manufacturing, how does Kawasaki keep up with the velocity of all of the changes and all of the innovations and all of the stuff and manufacture and deliver products that are meeting the ever-changing and rapidly evolving markets, manufacturing markets? How do you do that? I don't know how you do it, because I look at these robots, it does this, it does that, and it looks like this, it looks like that, but how do you keep up with that? I don't know how you do that.
Well, you certainly, with our partners, we're listening to what they say, because they have their finger on the pulse of, customers and end users, we call them, that are actually using the robotics in their manufacturing. So our partners work directly with them, and we work with our partners, plus, looking at periodicals, understanding the changes of manufacturing, and obviously the dynamics of politics today makes a big difference as well. So keeping up with all of that, we're looking at ways to innovate and have the right solution for what they're using. We have a full engineering team that when a solution or a proposed solution is brought to us, we work with our partners to size the correct robots, do simulations to prove them out so that they have the right answer for their customers.
Where do you manufacture?
So all of our robots are manufactured in Japan that come to the United States.
And you can't help but have the conversation around tariffs.
Of course, yeah. So we have that as well. Kawasaki actually has their own shipping line. So we can take advantage of that.
Why wouldn't you?
That's right. But, tariffs is going to be that's going to be the big thing. It's there's some advantages to shipping around from Japan to our customers that are in Canada or Mexico. But unfortunately, everything coming to the States where we receive them in our warehouse in Michigan, we're still subject to the tariffs just like most of our competitors do. So it's kind of it's an even playing field in that sense.
Where do you see it going? What you're on the floor, you're having conversations with people walking around. What are they asking for? Can you deliver, fill in the blanks? What's that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. And it ranges from so many different variables. For instance, we're displaying a robot that's doing random pick for a kitting operation. So we're using 3D vision to locate specific parts and then build a kit from that. The trade show is always a good resource to just show examples, but it gets people thinking so that we can have that exact conversation of what they're looking for. So an example would we had a conversation with somebody who's looking for a sorting setup for dental implants. I talked to another customer that has a gel for pharmaceutical use. I talked to another company that actually is looking to do a welding operation, which you wouldn't think at this particular show, but it does happen. And we cover all of that.
Yeah, I have you that automated welding. That's pretty doggone cool.
And it's been doing it's been doing in the automotive industry for years.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you guys, it's like right in your wheelhouse.
It's old hat.
Yeah, that's a sweet thing. All right, if I was a guy that I needed to get a hold of you, which fortunately for me, I have your business card. How would somebody get a hold of you, Matthew, and say, I want to know more about Kawasaki's Robotics?
Best way is Matthew.Garcia at KRI-US.com, or you can call me direct, 559-217-2009.
You out on LinkedIn?
I am, yes sir, under Matthew Garcia.
That's you got that?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, but it's not with 59372 on it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, well, that's all we got. All right, Matthew, you were fantastic. Thank you very much for being so flexible and willing to get on the podcast so quickly. I know that you have a flight heading on out today, but I really appreciate that, and thank you very much for your conversation.
Yep,
we're going to have all the contact information for Matthew out on Industrial Talk. Fear not, reach out to him. It is the world that we are living in. You need Sherpas to help you along, especially in the world of automation and robotics. He's the one that you want to connect with. Once again, we're broadcasting from MD&M West. We are with the News and Brews crew. We are telling the story of all the manufacturers that are here. And if you're not here, fear not. There's going to be one next year. So, stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
All right, that was Matthew Garcia, Kawasaki Robotics. So I was at MD&M, as you can tell. I was at MD&M. Yeah, we're listening to the podcast, and of course, I was at MD&M West. And it was full of just incredible solutions. Also, like Kawasaki Robotics, providing real value in the world of manufacturing. It is changing so fast. It is, as if you've been following Industrial Talk and all the conversations, one thing you cannot deny is that industry, manufacturing, all aspects are just absolutely changing. Changing for the good. Becoming more, operationally efficient, extracting greater value, meeting the demands of the market, all of it. And it's all at MD&M West. If you weren't there this year, you need to be there next year just because you need to be there next year.
And because you will not be disappointed because you get to meet people like Matthew. I'm looking at his stat card right there. If you're out on the video and you're looking at me, I'm pointing at his LinkedIn stat card. All right there. All right, once again, we're building a platform. Industrial Talk is here for you. You need to tell your story. Just like all of the individuals that have been on the podcast. You need to tell the story. We need to inspire that next generation of industrial leaders. And that is through storytelling, and that is creating that human element that is a part of your company and you. You have to do it. Go out to Industrial Talk. Click, connect. Talk to me. And we'll have a conversation, and I think it'll be great. And you'll help inspire the next generation, which is, we need that, all right? All right, be bold, be brave, dare greatly, hang out with Matthew, and you will be changing the world. We're going to have another great conversation coming from MD&M West shortly, so stay tuned.